In this video, we'll be looking at two more examples of graphing rational functions. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to find the asymptotes and intercepts of this function in number 3. So the vertical asymptotes, remember, are the values that make the denominator equal to 0. So we have x equals -2 and x equals 2. And then my horizontal asymptote, I need to look at the degrees of the numerator and the denominator. In this case, the degree is 2 on the top and the bottom, because if I were to multiply the denominator out, I would get an x squared there. Which means that my horizontal asymptote is going to be the leading coefficient of the top, which is 2, over the leading coefficient of the bottom, which is just a 1 in front of that 1x squared. So my horizontal asymptote is y equals 2. So I'm going to go ahead and sketch those asymptotes in with red. Let me make my red marker a little bit bigger. And you're going to want to make sure you sketch in your asymptotes too. Every time you draw a graph with asymptotes, use a dotted line to denote that that's an asymptote. Then your x-intercept happens when the numerator is equal to 0. So let's go ahead and solve that. So I have 2x squared equals 2, divide both sides by 2. X squared equals 1, take the square root of both sides, and x equals positive and negative 1. Don't forget that when you take a square root, you get a positive and a negative value. So actually I have two x-intercepts. I have 1, 0, and I have -1, 0. So let's plot those. So -1, 0, and 1, 0. Then my y-intercept I get by plugging 0 in for my x values. So I end up with, let me just erase this work for my x-intercepts. Do the work right here. I have 2 times 0 minus 2 over 0 plus 2 times 0 minus 2. So my numerator just turns into -2, and my denominator turns into -4, which is a positive 1/2. So my y-intercept is 0, 1/2. This is 0, 1/2 right there. Okay. And it looks like I have enough information now to graph this middle chunk of my graph. Oh, that was not a very good graph. So this middle section is going to look kind of like an upside down U. And we'll figure out what the left and right sections look like in a minute. Let's get our domain and range first. So our domain, remember, is only restricted by our intercepts. Sorry, by our vertical asymptotes. So I'm going to write the domain with the gaps where the asymptotes are. And then the range, the only restriction that it will have is it will have no values at 2, at y equals 2, because that's where the horizontal asymptote is. In fact, I drew that horizontal asymptote incorrectly. I just realized. Let's fix that. That horizontal asymptote should be at y equals 2. Sorry about that. That was a pretty big mistake. Okay, now I need to figure out what's happening on the left and right side of my graph. So I'm going to start by plugging in values. So on the left side of my graph, I'm just going to plug in -3. And you can feel free again to use your calculator here to evaluate these if you want. These aren't too bad to do by hand either. But if you want to speed up the process, you can. So I'm going to get the point -3, 3.2. So -3 and then up at 3.2. So that tells me that this top piece of the graph is going to look like this. And I better plug in 3 on the right side of the graph to see what I get. And I'm going to get the same thing, which is 3.2. So 3, 3.2. So this graph is going to look just like that. Okay. So remember, on portions of the graph that you don't know what it looks like, just plug in points like we did down here to get an idea of what it's going to look like on either side of your asymptotes. Okay. Let's go ahead and jump through one more example. So my vertical asymptotes are the values that make my denominator equal to 0. So I would figure that out by saying x plus 1 equals 0. Subtract 1 from both sides to get that x equals -1. So that's my vertical asymptote. My horizontal asymptote, I look at the degrees of the top and the bottom. The top has a degree of 1 and the bottom has a degree of 1. So I'm going to look at the leading coefficients. Remember, the leading coefficient is the number in front of your biggest power of x. And in this case, both the top and the bottom have a leading coefficient of 1. So 1 divided by 1 is 1, so my horizontal asymptote is at 1. So let's go ahead and graph those, or not graph, but sketch in those asymptotes. So y equals 1, x equals negative 1. Now to find my x-intercept, I'm going to set my numerator equal to 0 to get x equals 2. So my x-intercept happens at 2, 0. So go ahead and graph that. And then my y-intercept, I just plug in 0 for all of my x's. So I get negative 2 over 1, which is just negative 2. So I have an x-intercept at 0, 0, negative 2. Okay, so I can graph what's going on in this right side of my graph. I'm going to have to plug in a value on the left side to figure out what's going on. So let's go ahead and plug in a negative 2 to my function. So I would get negative 2 minus 2 over negative 2 plus 1. Negative 2 minus 2 is negative 4. Negative 2 plus 1 is negative 1. Negative 4 divided by negative 1 is a positive 4. So I have a point at x equals negative 2, y equals 4. So I can plot that, which allows me to sketch in this left side of the graph. Okay. Now we just need to write in the domain and the range. So remember, your domain is all your x values, so the only restriction there is your vertical asymptote. And then with your range, the only restriction is your horizontal asymptote. And the horizontal asymptote isn't always a restriction on the domain or on the range, but in this case it is. Okay. If you have any questions, you can send me an email or leave a comment on the video here.